I believe you were in a content house.
Right? Oh, no, you figured that out.
So what is it like to live in a content house?
Content houses are difficult because you don't necessarily pick who you are rooming with. It's just like, hey, you guys are going to live together for the next 6 months. Like, enjoy. And so then you kind of like have to like figure it out. And everyone's so different. Like, you never met these people. And it's so different than just being friends with somebody to living with somebody. So you have to have compatibility. Like, kind of like a relationship. Like, you have to make sure, okay, I'm a really clean person, but if you're really messy, we're going to start to clash at some point because I don't want to keep doing your damn dishes. Would I do it again? No, I would never. I'd rather have 0 friends than have bad company around me. No matter what you do in life, people are always going to say something, whether it's something that you enjoy doing or something that you don't enjoy doing. People are always going to say something regardless, so you might as well just do what you want to do.
Since Gabby's single, what do you look for in a guy? Welcome, Gabby, to the podcast. I met Gabby a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And we finally got her on. And I'm excited to kind of just dive in and learn more about your story because I think if you don't really... Because, you know, you post TikToks and a lot of short form content, but not like... No one knows how you got to this, where you are today.
Yeah.
So.
It's very crazy. I feel like I didn't do that great of a job at doing that because I feel like... I'm a very random person, so I don't know.
Amazing. We'll talk about a bunch of random topics.
Awesome.
But how did you get started on social media?
I started like in 2019, a long time ago. Okay. I know, back in like the Ice Ages. And I had always like loved like YouTube and all that stuff. And so I was planning on doing YouTube. Like from the jump, I was like, I didn't want to do TikTok. I was like, fucking TikTok's so corny. Like I'm not doing that. But then I ended up doing TikTok because I saw all of the like growth and everything, and YouTube started to die down. So it was like, okay, people are not going to give a shit about me if I just start posting on to like YouTube randomly. Like I had no followers at all. So I was like, how can I start this and then I can transfer it to TikTok? And at the time I thought, oh yeah, like you just get followers, it'll be really easy to just get them all on the other. It's not. But like then after that, like once I hit like 100K on TikTok, I was like, okay, YouTube grind. And I was posting every day on YouTube for like 3 months when I was in college. I had so much fun doing it. Like loved it. So
wait, so I didn't know you went to college. So
that's a little blip of my life.
Yeah.
I went to community college and then I went for a semester. I was going to be an art teacher.
Amazing.
Which is crazy. And then social media started to take off, and my dad, believe it or not, my dad is like the most like pessimistic person. Like he's like, you know, he'll be like, okay, you have to think logically, Gabby, like you shouldn't do this. My dad came to me and he's like, you can't focus on 2 things that you want to do at once, so just drop out. And I was like, wow. Really? Because he saw how dedicated I was to it and like wanting to do it. And at first, like you think like social media, oh, it's so easy, it's so this, it's so that. But I was staying up. I had like, so to be an art major, you have to have like 6-hour classes a day. So it'd be 6 to 8 hours usually. So I'd go at like 7. I would get home at like 7:30 at night, like from class. And I would go all day just writing ideas. And then I would go home, film them all, edit them until like 4 in the morning, then repeat back to school the next day. And I was doing it every day and uploading them all. And
editing them as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I was like, my dad was just like, Gabby, like you don't give a shit about college. Like you were so excited to like be an art teacher. Now like you're just like, no. Because realistically my whole dream was YouTube. So like when I had that opportunity, I was like, fuck everything else. Like I'm just going to go do what I want to do. And so my dad was just like, why don't you just like take a semester off, focus on that. And I was supposed to be on this TV show and they told me I couldn't be in college. And so then I was like, okay,
all right, the signs are here.
Yeah, like the signs from God are telling me to quit. So I quit. But I like, you know, everyone always says like you like take a break from college. You're not taking a break. You're freaking done.
You're
not
going
back.
I'm taking a semester off.
Yeah.
You know,
no one takes a semester off. If you take a semester off, you're done.
You're done.
You're done.
I agree.
So, yeah.
So this is, where did you grow up?
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Wow.
Good old Pennsylvania.
Good old Pennsylvania. So not many influencers out there.
Oh, no. It's like desolate farm area. Like it's not, like I was from like outside of Philadelphia. Like my family grew up in Philly and then we moved to the farms and it's pretty dead. Yeah.
So you're like, I wanted to social media, you know, YouTube, TikTok, and you start growing on TikTok. what kind of content were you making? Like how did you just sit down and be like, all right, I'm going to make these types of videos and post every single day and that's it?
Yeah. Like YouTube, I got it. Like I understood like the concept, but TikTok at the time was so new. So I was like, no, I didn't get it. Like I was just like, I was just looking at the For You page. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
It was all dancing. Like, it was all dancing back then.
Not even that. Like it wasn't even like dance. It was before dancing was a thing on there. So it was like stuff like relatable stuff. But I didn't understand at the time. I was just like confused. I was like a grandma looking at TikTok. I'm like, what is this? And then I just started posting like 20 times a day on there, just like random shit. And then I started to realize,
guys, just woke up.
Yeah, I was just testing everything. I was like, let me try a video like this. Let me try a video. And I was just like, whatever pops off first, then I'll just run with that, which for me was relatable content. So I would like talk about like relationships and like stuff like that, where it was like more relatable. And that's like what did good for me in the beginning. And then I just started to do like more like, I guess like comedy or like whatever, and then I go like lifestyle. So like my shit is just random. Yeah. Like I'm like all over the place on TikTok.
So now it's basically whatever ideas come to your brain.
Like if I think of something funny with my friends, then I'll do it. If I think of something that I'm like, oh, this is a good like learning lesson that I learned, or something that like just random, like I'll just start filming it. And I'm like, I don't really like care anymore. I'm just kind of like whatever I want to do, I'm going to do it. And that's like what makes me happy, rather than doing something that I'm like, oh, I know this is going to do really well, so I'll do it. So I just kind of do what I like to do, rather than like, it's going to get views kind of thing. So. Yes.
So early on, did you like get traction off the back, or was it kind of like brutal until it started picking up?
It wasn't super much, like a lot of traffic at first, but like once it hit, it was all at once. And so then I was like, oh shoot. And like I remember I kept it like under wraps for a while, because I was like, I started social media the day I graduated high school, because I was so scared to do it in high school, because I thought people were gonna make fun of me. Yeah. And so I started the day I graduated. I was like, okay, it starts today. So I didn't tell anyone, and then one of my videos did really well, and it was like a video where like it was my first video that ever did good. And it was, I was really nerdy growing up. Like I was like a little computer kid. Like I loved playing Minecraft. Like I like ate my life away at Minecraft. Like I was absurd. Wow. And so I made a video about Minecraft, and it blew up. And I forgot I had linked my Instagram to my TikTok. So overnight it happened, it blew up. So when I woke up the next morning, all these comments about Minecraft were all over my Instagram. I'm like, oh my God. Like this was like a few weeks after I graduated, so like everyone's like reaching out to me. They're like, I didn't know that. And I'm like, oh my God.
Like, Gabby, you played Minecraft?
Yeah. And so then I was like thinking, I was like deleting comments. I'm like, fuck. But then I just like, you know what, like I just rolled with it. I was like, I don't give a shit anymore. Like it gets to a point where you're like, I don't really care. So like that was just still new to the whole, I guess, like people commenting, that I was like, oh my God, like people were talking, and it freaked me out at first, but then like gave me like a week, and I was like, okay, if I want to do it, people are going to make a comment about anything. So yeah, might as well start to get used to it now.
It's interesting you brought up that you started it after high school though, because I think that's what stops a lot of people from like trying, right? It's like even after school, it's like, what if my friends find out? What if they make fun of me? So
yeah, that's like a huge thing. And I had like a really hard time in high school. Like my first 2 years were great, but then I was like living as somebody that I didn't think like I was inside. Like I was very like nerdy the way I thought, like things that I really liked, enjoyed, and I was doing cheerleading, but I didn't like it at all. Like I loved art, and I wanted to do art, and I wanted to like just sit at home and play video games and paint and draw, and like I just liked other things, and I was so scared my first 2 years to like, you know, be who I like, what I wanted to do. Like I wouldn't even take an art class or just go home and do it, because I was scared people would be like, oh, what the fuck. But then my last 2 years, I just was like, you know what, I don't really give a shit. Like I just started doing what I wanted to do, and that's when I started to notice like even more people saying stuff. I was like, damn. But I always think of it this way, is like, no matter what you do in life, people are always going to say something, whether it's something that you enjoy doing or something that you don't enjoy doing. People are always going to say something regardless. So you might as well just do what you want to do. And that's kind of like what I thought from my sophomore year of high school. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. Like people are going to talk shit no matter what I do. So I just started like kind of isolating myself from people that I thought like were really mean or whatever. And I started doing what I want to do. And it actually made me so much more happier. And I was like, I'd rather have 0 friends than have bad company around me. Like,
yeah, or like fake friends
exactly.
who like don't really support
exactly.
you. So.
Yeah, that's like so important. You are who you surround yourself with. So
yeah, that's amazing. So you started social media, you started to get traction.
Mm-hmm.
Dad is like, hey, quit college, that's it, you know.
Yeah.
Then like what, like I believe you were in a content house as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh no, you figured that out.
So we got to figure out like the transition from now to the content house.
Oh Jesus. Okay. So I had started like just like things kind of took off. I was going to LA a lot, and then one of my really good friends, he was his name's Noor. Do you know Noor?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, sweetheart. Yeah. He was like, hey, like he was working for a content house at the time for not a content house, and he's like, hey, like there's another one opening up in Vegas. Like, do you want to go? And I was like, fuck it, why not? And so within like a week, I moved out to Vegas. I didn't know any of the people that I moved with. Like, I had no idea. I never met them. Like, I just met them the day I moved in, and I was like, hey guys, like whatever. We all lived together for like
This was
5
back when
months.
content houses were big.
Oh yeah, like
Okay.
like as a group we would go to LA like every weekend. So like we would be in Vegas during the weekend LA, and yeah, it was interesting life out there.
So I think a lot of people are wondering, even me, which is like, what is it like to live in a content house?
Yeah, I'm very introverted, so like the house was massive though. So like everyone had their own wing. It was like crazy.
Yeah.
So it was good, but I think content houses are difficult because you don't necessarily pick who you are rooming with. And so like I think like a lot of the time, like a lot of people from LA, they had problems because like whatever. And like luckily like there wasn't really like any problems, but like we were all such different people. So it was so different where it's like I was a lot older than the girls that were in the house, so I was like at a different stage in my life. And you have to remember that like when you're living with people, it's like you have to have compatibility, like kind of like a relationship. Like you have to make sure, okay, I'm a really clean person, but if you're really messy, we're gonna start to clash at some point because I don't want to keep doing your damn dishes. Like
it's
just like
values.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I think it gets difficult because you're just like you never get to pick with content houses. It's just like, hey, you guys are going to live together for the next 6 months, like enjoy. And so then you kind of like have to like figure it out. And everyone's so different. Like you never met these people and you have to learn different people's personalities, the way they live. Like it's so different than just being friends with somebody to living with somebody. So it was definitely interesting. Would I do it again? No, I would never be in a content house.
Like that
again.
was a phase of my life. That chapter is closed.
Yeah, it is closed. When it was ended, I was ready to be done. But yeah, I mean, it's nice. Like living with people is like, it's nice. Like you always have people around, but
for you, you're more like introverted, like what you said. You like your privacy.
Oh yeah, like I love being alone. Like I'll go eat lunch alone. I'll go like I do everything by myself because I love it. Like I enjoy it. Like I don't have to like worry.
Yeah. This probably came from like your latter half of high school as well, where you kind of just got like, you know, comfortable with yourself and being alone.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up as an only child, so like I think that was I had played a lot by myself until like I mean, I had like a really good friend. I had a really like my parents were like pushing me to be really close with my cousins too. Like we were just really close. My family was just super close. So like I had thought they were kind of like my siblings. But like majority of the time, like you're not always at your cousin's house. You're not always with these people. So I was playing a lot alone, and I liked it. Like I was just like, I think it makes you more creative because you have to like figure out, you know, how to make things work. But I mean, in high school, like my last 2 years, I was just sitting by myself in the art room, like just like hours. Like I would make myself fake hall passes and go sit there and paint for hours because like I didn't want to go sit at lunch and like whatever and
Socialize.
Yeah, like not even socialize. Like I just knew like there was like a lot of people like just like picking on me and like doing things, and I was just like so anxious that I was like I don't even want to like go over there in case something happened. Like I just don't want to. So yeah.
Nice.
Very
so
fun.
Content House was done. What made you decide to move to Miami instead of LA?
Well, when the content house ended, I had a group of people ask me to move to Miami, and I had a group of people ask me to move to LA. And I remember like it was like kind of like a thing. Like they're like, who's Gabby gonna pick? And I was like, oh God, like I was like getting stressed out. And at the time, I always had problems with my mental health, like with anxiety. And I was just like, I always hear really bad things about LA. Like, I don't know if that would be great for me. So I was like, maybe I'll go to Miami for a bit and then do that. So I lived in Miami for like 3 months, and then I left because one of the girls I moved in with, something with her family happened. We had to like terminate the lease. And so I was like, you know what, like maybe it wasn't the right time anyways. And then a few months later, I was like, I can't live in Pennsylvania anymore. So I moved back out here, and yeah, the rest is history. That's how we met.
Exactly. I think Miami's on the come up.
Yeah,
so.
It is. It really is. I feel like everyone's moving here now, so it's great. But
yeah. LA still definitely has a lot more like content, influencers. It's good for social media, but I do think people are moving to Miami.
Yeah, I think especially in the business world, it's a lot more beneficial to live here than I would say in LA. Like, I feel like LA is more like industry, like entertainment, like that kind of stuff. I feel like it's so good for owning a company and stuff like that.
Yeah. So what would you say are the pros and cons of Miami?
Ooh, this is fun. Pros, I think, I mean, for me with my business, I think it's good. Like, I meet a lot of really good people. The people are very nice here too. Like, I think, I mean, you obviously not everyone's great, but the people that I have met, especially like people that we know, they're all such amazing people. Yeah. Like, everyone has such good hearts. They actually genuinely care. The cons, I feel like the party life is a bit much for me. Like, and even if you're not doing it, I feel like it's a bit taxing, like on yourself, just because you're like constantly getting asked to go here, doing this, doing that, and it's like you want to say yes to all your friends all the time, but then you're like, wait, like I probably shouldn't do this because I have to go do this, and this. Yeah. And so I think like that's a lot, and I think it's hard when it comes to like, I don't know, I'm very like old school with like relationships and stuff like that. So like I feel like it's very like a freeing place, it's very like a sexually freeing place, like where everyone's kind of just like doing whatever, and I'm just so not like that. So it's like very hard for me to be like, I guess, I don't know, in that world where I'm like, whoa, like this is crazy, like I'm going out, I'm seeing shit that I've never seen before.
You're like, all right, closing my eyes, all right, I think that's time to go home, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So
okay. So what are your thoughts on dating in Miami?
Well, for a while I had a boyfriend, like so like I didn't experience it too much until recently. In
high school or after high school?
No, when I first moved here, I moved with a boyfriend. That was fucking hell. Never again is that happening. But I mean, like now I don't really date like around, like I'm just so freaking focused and tunnel visioned that like if I meet a guy, I'm like, cool, but like I honestly haven't dated in Miami really. Like, yeah, I'm just kind of like, I
think you're so focused on business.
Yeah, like I'm always thinking about like what can I do better for myself and like building my foundation. Like I feel like your 20s is a time to like really like focus on building who you are and building your foundation for like my family, because like I don't want to like be one of those girls where it's like, oh, I want to marry rich. Like fuck that. Like I want to be able to be okay on my own. Like say like shit hits the fan, like I can support myself and I can support my kid. Like if I want to say go get my kid something, I don't have to ask my husband. I just be like, here. Like I want to be able to do things for my family and feel like I did that. And I don't know, I think if I meet the right guy, great, like perfect. Like I don't want to date around. Person that I date is probably I want to get married to, but I'm not like itching for it. And if I meet the person that's when it's supposed to happen. Like I believe in like God's speed is supposed to happen. Like when God wants it to happen, it will. So I'm just kind of like, okay, until then, I'm building my foundation for my life and focusing on my business and focusing on like my YouTube and everything and like building that. And then when it happens, it happens.
But, yeah. And I think how old are you? 22?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You're so young as well that I feel like you can kind of just go with the flow, like focus on business, social media, and then like when it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's nice.
Nice. So I want to talk a bit about, actually, on the topic of dating. For those watching, you know, since Gabby's single, what do you look for in a guy?
I like a guy that's really kind and like gentle. Like I think that's like really huge for me. Is not someone that's like rough, like personality wise. Okay, yeah. Like I don't want like someone that's gonna be like, I don't know, like they need to be in tune with their emotions and be able to like speak about it. I think that's huge. If you can't have a deep conversation with me, or like I like very good manners, like respectful, like opens the door, does things that are like, you know, a gentleman, yes. And I think the biggest one for me is like driven and ambitious and like is like hungry to be the best that they can be. Because I've been with people that don't understand that, and like they were like more just like chill, like, you know, they didn't have like as many goals, and it honestly got in the way of my goals because they needed so much attention or so much of this, when I was like, I need to be focusing on my work. And if you get mad about that, like I don't know what to do. So I need someone that's like has their own shit going on, and they're motivating me. Like that's huge to me. Like I want the person that I'm with to motivate me to be better. Like, you know?
Yeah.
So that's something that is huge that I'm looking for. Like honestly, it's a deal breaker for me. I'm just like, you need to have your shit together and like want to like be better for yourself. So then like you can both understand. So like I think those are like the things that I like looking for 100%.
It's the core values,
exactly.
Right? Like you have your certain lifestyle, you know what fits for you. And I think when you're early on to dating, you kind of just date like someone that like you don't really know what your core values are, right? Like when you're younger, at least for me. And so now like same thing. It's I have to go like, you know, I'm extremely clean, so I can't date someone who's, you know, messy or dirty. Like I'm very organized, and I think as you kind of get older and learn what you like, what lifestyle fits you, and the person that matches that, I think that's how you like develop it. So.
Yeah, 100%. Like I think it goes with dating many people. Like I don't even think you need to date them too. Like I know people that know what they want and they've never had a girlfriend, or like they've never had a boyfriend, and they're like, well, I know I like this, and I'm like, it's true. Like you need to know and go through other relationships to know what you want. You won't know if you don't. So, yeah.
Nice. So, talk to me more about your business. So I know you have Comfort.
Yes.
How'd that happen? Like, how'd you start it?
So I had started. This was back when I was in Vegas. I really wanted to start a mental health clothing company, and it just like was not going well. I was with a manager, and I brought the idea to her, and she was just like trying to help me as much as she could. But I always say, I'm like, if you don't run a business, like you don't know how to assist somebody in doing so. Like you have no experience to it. And I kept getting pushed in like the merch like realm. They're like, okay, like here is this merch company, here's this merch company. And I was like, you know, maybe like I won't make it like merch, but like I'll work through that company and make it like a brand. But so they start sending me shit like clothing, and I was like, this is the worst hoodie I've ever felt in my entire life. Like this piece feels like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like a Ziploc bag would feel better than this. And so I was like, okay, I kept sending it back. I'm like, I don't like this. And it got to like the 5th box of stuff that they were sending me. They were like sending me like a bunch of stuff, like different like blends and this, that, and the other. And I was just like, this is all terrible. So she was like, okay, they're getting like mad now because you have declined like everything. And the designs that I had made, they were just not able to replicate them the way I was explaining. And I was just like, listen, this isn't going to work out, like whatever. And so at the time, I was doing promos on Snapchat for this company called Purely White Deluxe. I don't know. Have you ever heard of them? They're like the blue LED light for teeth whitening.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah.
And so I was working for him, and he was like, hey, I have an idea. Like, I would love to like kind of pitch it to you. And I was like, okay. So he wanted to make a whole hoodie line. And I was like, okay. And I like wanted to do something with mental health. And that was like kind of what I was trying to do. So like we put our ideas together and we came out with Comfort, and like now like my business partner and I, that's like our thing. And yeah, it's kind of how it happened.
So what are your goals with Comfort? I know you have hoodies and sweats right now.
Yeah. Eventually I want it to be like a one-stop shop for everything. So like one day like athletic wear, one day like I want it to be like everything. Like even like maybe one day bathing suits. I was just talking to Macy in the car. I was like, I really want to do like bathing suits. I want to do this. I want to do that. Like we can even do bed sheets. We can do like there's so much that Comfort can do, and it's like so exciting, but it's also so overwhelming because you're like, how many things can I do? And it's like it's just crazy. Yeah. So yeah, it's fun though.
So you kind of came up with the idea from your own personal mental health struggles. Can you talk to me more about that?
Yeah, like about just my mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've always had really, really bad anxiety. Like when I did cheerleading when I was like in 5th grade is kind of when I remember it all starting. And I would like wake up because my coaches were awful. When I did cheer, I did like competitive cheerleading, so we would travel all the time, and they would always like scream and yell and like this, that, and the other, and like I just wasn't used to that. But it was just very tough world, very catty world, like just ridiculous. So before the competitions, I would start throwing up. Like I wouldn't speak like at all the whole day, and I wouldn't eat. Like I was really bad. And like everyone's just like, oh, it's just Gabby's nerves, like da da da. And it was like a joke for a while, like, oh, Gabby's just a nervous girl, like whatever. And they're like, oh, Gabby's throw up is good luck, because we'd win all the time, like after I threw up. And so it was like a joke. And then I started to notice like it was starting to become like everything. And like certain times, like if I woke up at like 5, because we'd always have to wake up early for competitions, like I could never wake up at 5 because then I would be sick, because I would have that mental thing that I was like getting put under immense amount of stress, that I would like work myself up. And so that was like really hard. And then it kind of went into like high school and that, and like everything was just like a lot for me. So I mean, now like I don't like throw up anymore like that. Like I have under control. Like I'm definitely a lot better than how I was. But it grew. It had to happen with me figuring it out. Like mental health was not a thing that was really talked about in my household. Not because my parents are insensitive, they just didn't know about mental health.
And I think even like it's only been talked about a lot the past like 5 years.
It's still so new. So that's why when thinking about comfort, I was like, I want something with mental health. Like if I'm going to do anything, it has to be with a purpose. And comfort was just like, got to bring comfort. And, you know, like it was good. So It makes me happy. But yeah. And
I like the angle where you're building something that like you would personally wear.
Right? Oh yeah.
Like the clothing, the fabric, like the details. So
I'm like super picky with everything. So I'm like, it needs to be perfect. So it's very fun.
So I think a lot of people don't know about the business side. I saw it for the first time when you were here, when I had, you know, people over for the Miami Heat game. And you were working on your phone, like we were like all of us were, you know, hanging out, having fun, watching the Heat game, like the finals, NBA finals, and Gabby was like taking a conference call like outside in the backyard. You were like on your phone. So tell me about the business side of you, because I think that's super interesting to me. Like how's it been for you? Like have you just studied a lot to learn to get to this point, or what was that like building comfort?
Honestly, like all thanks to my business partner. Like he's like one of the people that I look up to the most ever. Like he's incredible. I'll have you meet him one day. He's amazing. And he has been like such an amazing mentor to me. Like I honestly didn't really know much about business before any of this. Like I was very, you know, whatever. Like I was very more like artistic, creative, never like into business. And he's like really helped me with it. And it's changed my life. And it makes me think a different way, because in the beginning, it was and it's still very hard for me to maintain everything and make sure I'm like doing enough of everything. So trying to like learn to like how much to put into what. So yeah.
Nice. So you're just, you know, you're learning, you're building, and I think that's in the early days, I feel like that's what it is. It's like never ending. You're just constantly making mistakes, figuring it out. So.
And Comfort's not a year old yet either.
Wow, it's that early.
Yeah, it's going to be a year on August 22nd.
Nice,
so
coming up.
It's going to be crazy. But yeah, like it's just so much learning that I have done and I'm continuing to do, and kind of learning to like, I guess, like put my time into different places, like, because I'm really bad with like, I don't stop. Like I'll just be on it all day, and if I'm not, I start to have anxiety because I'm like, oh my god, like I could be doing something more. Like, so yeah, I'm just trying to learn to like keep myself at a healthy level.
What's like your weekly routine right now?
I just actually started redoing it. I always try to like, redo it, but like I'll go to the gym every morning, like early, and then come home, work like on Comfort or a few other companies we're launching until like 2:30ish, and then I'll like go film content for TikTok, plan the week's YouTube videos, plan the podcast, and then like rest of the night, either if I have to film for the YouTube videos or film for the podcast, like just whatever. So like it's kind of like just every day's different. It's always different, and it's fun. But it freaks me out because I have to have a list. I have a schedule. Like I'm like very like everything has to be color coded correctly. I'm like,
Wait,
psycho.
that's like mine. My calendar is literally color coded.
Like, it's disgusting. And so if it's not, like, I have to make sure, like, every Sunday I go over my whole calendar for the week, and I'm like, okay, make sure I have time to get from here to there, here to there. And I'm like trying to think of it, like, all the things that I can get done. So yeah, it's like, it's always different though. Like, one week there's a photo shoot, like 1 week there's this, and so it's a lot.
Yeah.
But
are you filming content every day?
for TikTok, no. Honestly, for anything, no, I don't. I used to for TikTok a lot, and then now I just really have put it on the back burner. Like, I like it, but I also hate it. And I'm just like, I feel like I really want to put more time into my YouTube. So I just started putting that with Macy in the car, because I'm like, I'm just going to start posting 3 times a week on YouTube now, and kind of take the pedal off of TikTok and do what I actually want to do, which was YouTube. So be good.
Nice. What kind of content do you want to make?
Well, Mondays I'm going to post my podcast. Wednesdays I'm going to post like any kind of vlog. I'm not going to, like, it's just going to be more for fun. Like, for me, just something that, like, is fun and creative, or something that's more about, like, comfort or the businesses that I'm doing. And then Friday is going to be like a vlog. So it's going to be fun.
That's fun.
Yeah. It's going to be like all kinds of different things, but I think I like that because I want anyone to be able to, like, sit down and watch my videos, like, so
yeah,
fun.
So like lifestyle, like continuing that. And I think you told me before you're posting on Snapchat a good amount as well. So, so that's Snapchat, like every day.
Not anymore, just because they removed my star. So then I was like, okay, I need to figure that out. But then, so I haven't been posting, but I was posting like 200 times a day on Snapchat, which was like my main thing. 200
times a day? So anything you did?
Yeah, everything I did, I was filming it. But, like, I would just film, like, me talking and, like, about everything. So it was, like, good. Everyone loved it. But, yeah, got to figure that out with Snapchat. So.
Yeah, Snapchat.
They don't like me.
Get the star back.
I know. Let me get back on the grind.
Yeah. Well, Snapchat, from what I know, pays creators, like, bank as well. So that's why a lot of creators post on it.
Yeah.
Like David Dobrik and stuff. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's incredible. I mean, what Snapchat has done is amazing, because it used to just be, like, literally for sending nudes. That's literally what it was, like, back in the day. Not that I ever have, okay, guys? I actually never have. But, you know, now it's like a whole social media platform, which is crazy. So yeah, it's, like, really cool. But.
So tell me more about, like, your goals the next 2 years. Have you kind of done like a vision board? What do you have in mind?
I want to be more full time on YouTube for sure. So, like, that's why I'm trying to, like, really focus on doing that. Like, I'm trying to figure out and plan that out. I want to continue to scale out Comfort and our other companies. Like, we just keep making more, which is crazy, which I'm like, oh my God.
You're like, oh God, I have more stuff to do.
Yeah. Like, we have one company launching next month. Then we have another one that's, like, being created.
What is that one?
It's called Nude.
Okay.
So it's going to be like a supplement company, and then maybe some other stuff. And then our other company, I don't think I could say yet, but it's exciting. And then, yeah, I mean, I guess scaling all my companies, doing YouTube full time, those are like the 2 goals. I was doing music for a little bit, and I was just like, I feel like I just can't focus on everything at once. Yeah. So I'm like, maybe that's something that I'll revisit. But right now it's like just YouTube and my companies. Really, I just want to, like, I don't even know what I want for them. Like, I just want them to be as big as possible. Like, I hate to set a cap or, like, a limit to things. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to limit myself to whatever. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just do it as much as I can and as best as I can. And yeah.
Nice. Wow. So you're going to be busy.
Yeah.
You have a busy next 3 years. I'll probably see you out, like, once every 6 months.
Yeah.
At this rate.
Yeah, really.
Nice. What's your diet like? Do you have time to cook? I feel like you're so busy. You have to, like, Uber Eats everything.
Well, okay, so I was doing the whole DoorDash thing.
Yeah.
Every meal, and now I don't, because I'm like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it wasn't more for diet reasons. I was just like, I didn't want to eat that stuff anymore. Like, I felt like I was just getting really, like, I don't know. And so I had gone on a carnivore diet before. So I'm on my carnivore diet again. For this past month, I've just been eating only meat.
Only like that's it. Any carbs?
No. And I just eat meat. I actually was on it when your chef was here. And me and him had a whole conversation about it.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he gave me the meat guy he gets.
Yeah.
So I was
great meat guy.
Yeah, great meat guy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get meat from him, but
Okay.
It sounds so wrong.
Yeah. Gabby's gonna get meat from him real fast.
Great.
Yes, every week.
But right now, actually, I'm just doing Ideal Nutrition.
Is that meal prep?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's great, and I go every Monday, pick it up. I was supposed to go yesterday, but I accidentally rescheduled it for the wrong day, so I have to go pick it up today.
So you just didn't eat yesterday.
Oh well, no, I went to Fresh Kitchen with Abby. Really good if you want to eat something
Shout out
healthy.
Abby.
Yeah, shout out freaking Abby.
Shout out Abby.
She was like, "This is amazing."
That's such her.
She's like incredible.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I know.
Like, here, let me come meet the chef.
Yeah.
Come back here.
But right now I've been intermediate fasting too, so
Okay.
I eat one meal a day. So morning until like 5, I'll eat my meal prep, and then the rest of the night I'm full. So
just one meal. Is it like a big meal though?
yeah.
Okay.
Usually like I won't like, because you're actually only supposed to eat one meal a day, but it's supposed to be a big meal. So that's what I've been doing, and I like it. It keeps me energized and feeling good. So
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay, so carnivore diet, like, are we talking, you like steaks, I'm assuming, chicken, what else?
Like
Fish?
I just started exploring fish, and that's different.
Are you a picky eater?
Very, very picky eater.
Like, describe. I know different levels of picky.
Like anything on the vegetable realm is an absolute no for me. Absolutely no.
veggies.
I don't like veggies. Actually, I just started eating salad like a year ago. I never had salad before that. And then I like edamame. Those are my two is edamame a vegetable?
It's green.
Yeah, so I'd assume so.
Yeah.
So like that's what I eat on the vegetable realm. But
Okay.
other than that, like I don't like vegetables. I think that's kind of like the only thing I'm really picky with. But I eat like all my meat like really rare too. So I mean, I guess that's kind of like
medium rare or like rare?
like I like it like really rare.
Like
really juicy.
Moving. Yeah.
Like it's like
it.
move.
Yeah.
Like that. Like I love that.
Wow. Rare is different.
Yeah, he was giving me all the he was giving me all the really red pieces. Like yes.
You're like a female version of Liver King.
Yeah, no, I literally
like,
am.
basically.
I honestly should just make my whole YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Liver King.
that's what you
Liver
should do.
Queen.
Yeah, Liver Queen. Imagine.
Oh my God.
Liver Queen.
Yeah, he's been nuts though for me. But
So Juan, my producer, is also very picky for veggies. But it's so funny because like me and Grant's the one you met. We like, we can eat anything. So like every night we'll make like veggies and stuff.
no, when I came to your house, I was like, this is like heaven but hell at the same time. Like if heaven and hell had a baby, that was like
That
your
was
kitchen
it.
that night.
Exactly.
I was like, there's garlic bread everywhere. I'm like, fuck. I was like literally hating my life, and then he came out with all the steak, and I was like,
You're like, okay, this is it. This is the
like,
party to be at.
I'll come into your house for dinner every night.
Yeah, you're like, hey Tim, I'm actually in the area. Surprisingly,
Weirdly.
Are you cooking right now? I can see through your windows.
I see you guys in the kitchen.
Yeah. I can actually smell from the road.
No, I honestly like to this day, best dinner I had. It was so good.
Wow.
Everything was amazing.
Grant's gonna love hearing that when he watches this.
Yeah, guys, if you ever at Tim's house for dinner,
For dinner,
wow, like that was crazy.
That's it.
Yeah.
It. So what's funny is Juan would come down, and like we'd make broccoli, but we'd save like 1 or 2 pieces for him, and he would start training himself to eat like 1 or 2 pieces of broccoli a night. I'm not even joking. But like eventually he just stopped coming down. So like
honestly, I give you props for that
for
because
trying.
Broccoli's crazy.
Yeah,
that's wild. Like the stench of that is like, and that's crazy. Absolutely not. I don't know how. Like if someone's making broccoli in the house, I have to evacuate.
No
I'm like, get
way.
me. No, it's disgusting. Like even if it's at the dinner table, I'm like gonna gag. Like I actually hate broccoli. Like worse.
What other
That's a really crazy one to start with.
Have you heard of the fruit called durian?
No.
Okay. So durian is like it's like a Vietnamese delicacy, but a lot of cultures eat it too. Like in the Southeast Asian culture. And durian is supposedly the smelliest fruit.
Okay.
And
Never heard of it.
Yeah, so you should buy it one day and try it and see how that stench is. But it's interesting because growing up, every time like my grandpa would like cut it in the kitchen, I would get gag. I'd be like, this smells so bad.
Is that much?
It smells like rotten eggs. But
a fruit,
but
that's crazy.
It is, but it's like also very expensive. It's like one of the most expensive fruits too.
Like how much is the fruit?
I don't know. We should look it up.
Look it up. I'm very curious.
Let me see if they have it in
Today
Miami.
on the Fruit Podcast.
Durian, Miami. See, look, I'm looking it up. It's like $200.
What? For fruit?
Fresh durian, $177.
Does it taste good?
So here's the thing. Like, I tried it as a kid, obviously, because like I would try stuff, and I would be like, "This is disgusting." But now, I don't know what happened to my taste buds. It tastes good to me, and the stench has almost gone away.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
But that's why I'm like, okay, maybe like the smell can change. But what Juan did was he just bought like athletic greens, which is like green powder.
Yeah.
And that's what I drink every day.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So you could try that.
Yeah, maybe I'll try it.
I'll give you a pack. I have an extra pack.
Yeah, you definitely.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna drink.
How do you
this.
like it? Good? No. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Actually, we'll make it and you can taste it.
Oh gosh. Wait, you know what? I think you'll like this. From Pura Vida, they have like it's called Omer's post workout.
Yes, I've seen that.
It's green. It has kale in it, which is crazy. But it actually tastes really freaking good.
Yes.
So you should try it. It's a good way to get your greens in.
All right, so green, picky diet, understood. Carnivore, liver queen. We're on the same page.
Queen.
Okay. Other random questions. How many hours of sleep do you get a night?
Depends on the night. Sometimes 3. Most of the time, like 9.
9.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I have to be in bed by a reasonable time. Like
Which
if I'm
is?
not in bed by a certain time, I start to panic. Like if I'm like not home at like 11:30ish, I'm like, oh shit, like I'm going crazy. And so then I'll get home and make sure I'm in bed by like 12 at latest. Like
Okay.
usually if we ever go out, I don't know. Do you go out a lot or no?
Occasionally.
On occasion.
Occasionally, once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
Mom, if you're watching this, once a month. Yeah.
Yeah, I never seen you out. I never seen him out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always at home,
Yeah, I feel everyone always knows me as the Irish goodbyer because I'll just leave. Like I'll just dip out the back door. Like one time we were at Gala, like everyone was like, "Gabby, where did you go?" I was like, "Oh, like I left like a little bit ago. Like I just want to say bye because then like people will like timestamp me and be like, oh, she left at this time."
Well, if you say bye, you're not leaving.
No.
You can never say bye.
Yeah, you just have to go. Like, I'll be like, I'm going to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, you have to go.
Dip. I do it every time because I'm just like, I can't.
People get mad. They
do.
Like, I've had people cancel my Ubers, keep me there. Like,
Abby does that.
Yes, professional.
Oh, she's like a little god at doing that.
Yeah.
She's like, keep drinking, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm like, Abby, it's my bedtime. So, yeah, it's very nice.
Okay, so strict 9 hours I think is good. That's like, I've been sleeping 8 hours pretty consistently and I feel great. So
yeah, it's great. Good sleep schedule too.
Get your sleep, eat a lot of carnivore, rare.
Yeah.
And then focus on YouTube and business.
Mm-hmm. That's the life.
Great life.
Such a great life.
Cool. Well, I think that's all I have for the podcast. So
Amazing.
I appreciate you coming on.
Of course. Thank you for
telling
having
everyone more about you. And now you guys can see a little deeper side of Gabby.
Yeah. Very exciting. I know. Not really.
Yeah.
Not really at all.